Civilizational suicide.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
And we don't know everything that Elon Musk has done with his high technology ass.
There you go.
You gotta be kidding me.
Sorry?
You're Elon Musk.
I am? Yep.
Regular people who happen to work for the government that make a decision, like Elon Musk.
It feels great to come down here and help the less fortunate, huh?
He was pro-apartheid, as I understand it.
Turned it over to him.
He locks his gaze onto something and says, "It shall be mine."
Weaponized empathy. And, yeah.
I don't want to rely upon the benevolence of an Elon Musk who grew up in apartheid South Africa.
They won't do it. They'll put their fucking rainbow flag on their porch and they'll just ride it right into the beach.
Civilizational suicide.
Yeah, right to the rocks.
A pro-apartheid South Africa billionaire.
Go back to South Africa. He's not a citizen. He came here illegally.
But we're not going to give up in investigating and finding.
I was on the turkey line, but I got demoted for being too generous with the gravy.
We don't know what he's being accused of by some, as it may relate to the election.
It's kind of wild. Like
it is very wild.
Like you talked, it's like they're living in an alternate reality.
Oh, there's a lot of people that I talk to that I have to go, where did you hear that?
Yeah.
In light of today's pseudo-international corporate systems that are pretty much at the top being run by a single entity. So for the first time in recorded human history, or at least publicly acknowledged, academically acknowledged history, we have this technology that can manipulate humans in so many powerful ways that it is almost inevitable that such capacities would be abused. And what we're learning in this decade is that, yes, in fact, it has been abused, and algorithms that were known to create addictive loops in your brain were implemented in social media as part of the fabric of how humans interacted and communicated with each other.
And like I said, like the best way to understand the truth of things is don't take anyone's opinion for it. Look at the source material. It's like, look at what someone actually said, look at what someone actually did, look at the real videos of the situation, and then you'll know what's real. I was almost beaten to death, if you call that bullied. It was not a happy childhood.
Which country is he loyalty to? South Africa? Canada? Or the United States?
While growing up in Pretoria, Musk, his brother Kimball, who doubles as his close confidant, and their cousins traveled around the wealthy parts of the South African capital, selling homemade chocolate Easter eggs. The adventurous group traveled door to door, selling the sweets for 20 times the cost of making them. I'd make them for 50 cents and charge $10 for an Easter egg, and I'd always get this question like, "Why are you charging $10 for this little Easter egg?" said Kimball in a 2017 interview. And I was like, well, you're supporting a young capitalist. And the reality is, if you don't buy it from me, you're not going to get one. And I know you can afford $10.
think when I was, 5 or 6 or something. I thought I was insane.
Regular people who happen to work for the government that make a decision, like Elon Musk. Let's see what the fuck that guy's texting his friends. Let's check it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bizarre. Just so bizarre.
Show you the family tree of Elon Musk, currently the richest person in the world, and the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and now Twitter.
Which country is he loyalty to? South Africa, Canada, or the United States?
Yeah, I grew up in South Africa, and my morality was informed by America. I read comic books, played Dungeons and Dragons, and
these days, especially since taking over Twitter, he's become quite the controversial figure. But whatever you might think of him, he certainly has an interesting family tree. So let's get to it.
I'm just trying to keep civilization going here, for longer. So.
Okay, let's start with Elon's earliest known Musk relative, Samuel Musk, who lived in Suffolk, England in the 1700s. Not much is known about these early Musks until we come to Eliza Musk, who we know worked as a lowly servant in Suffolk for a wealthy family with the surname Pye. We also know that she had a child named Harry with an unknown man, and that she lived with her parents Henry and Charlotte. Eliza's son Harry took the surname Musk, so the assumption is that his father was not in the picture.
Whose American citizenship is his third choice of citizenship.
Walter was 22 when World War II began, and therefore he enlisted and ended up serving in Ethiopia, Egypt, and Italy. Near the end of the war, he married Cora Robinson, who was also from South Africa. In fact, Cora's family had been in South Africa much longer than Walter's, with her mother's line going all the way back to some of the earliest settlers of the Dutch Cape Colony. After the war, Walter and Cora had 2 children, the eldest being Errol Musk, the father of Elon Musk.
I think we want to be kind to people. We want to have empathy.
A couple things on Elon as well. It says Elon liked darkness, but he wasn't allowed to watch TV, eat mac and cheese, or play with others. Now, this is interesting because it's something that I've heard in the past coming from people that have left the Illuminati families, that they're not allowed to indulge in some of the things that the regular population, the consumers, would use because, those are the unintellectual masses. They're the herd. They're the cattle. We're much more elite than that. So we will not indulge in these low-level products that we are providing for the masses, that kind of attitude. So that's not that surprising.
I watched American TV shows, and it seemed like America cared about being the good guys, about doing the right thing. And I was on the turkey line, but I got demoted for being too generous with the gravy.
Let's now turn our attention to Elon's mother's side of the family, the Haldemans. The Haldeman family has deep roots in the United States and can be traced back to a Jacob Haldeman who immigrated there from Switzerland in the 1700s. Jacob had a great-great-great-grandson named John Elon Haldeman. John got his middle name from his maternal grandfather, Elon Powers. So that's where the name Elon comes from.
Your stock is way down. You've been criticized left and right.
Anyway, John Elon Haldeman married Almeda Norman. However, as a young man, he started to suffer from diabetes, which led his wife to go to chiropractic school in Minnesota. They then moved to Saskatchewan, where Almeda became the first person to work as a chiropractor in Canada.
Born on November 25th, 1902 in Crow Wing, Minnesota, his family relocated to Heber, Saskatchewan in 1906 or 1907. This is Elon's grandfather, Joshua Norman Haldeman, who was a chiropractor, political activist, pilot, cowboy, adventurer, and had an all-around entrepreneurial spirit.
Joshua ended up becoming a chiropractor as well, and was involved in a political movement in the 1930s known as Technocracy.
He was pro-apartheid, as I understand it.
Which he started a chiropractic school between 1922 and 1926.
Harry ended up working as a bricklayer and was initially married to a woman named Mary. They split up though, and he then decided to move to South Africa, where he married a woman named Lucy.
That's scary, actually.
Yeah.
So...
Was that what's taken so long with his Epstein files?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What is up with that? It was like...
Yeah.
It's like Lucy and the football with Charlie Brown, when she always pulls that football away.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
This foreign agent, an enemy of the United States. Now I'm getting some flack because I said that Musk was pro-apartheid. I don't really know for sure if he was.
Who posted on X who's great, Godsad.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Oh,
he's been on
great.
the podcast a bunch of times.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And he talks about, basically suicidal empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there's so much empathy that you actually suicide yourself.
Yeah.
And he went back to farming between 1927 and 1934.
And it's like, I believe in empathy. Like, I think you should care about other people, but you need to have empathy for civilization as a whole and not commit to a civilizational suicide.
And it says here, however, due to the Dust Bowl conditions and the Great Depression starting, Joshua lost his farm to creditors around 1934 when he could no longer make payments for equipment he had purchased with a bank loan.
The empathy exploit. They're exploiting a bug in Western civilization, which is the empathy response.
Due to the farm loss, he worked various jobs, etc., etc.
They had 5 children in total, 2 of whom were twins, Kay and May.
So she was born in Canada, and she's actually a twin and one of 5 children. And here's an image that she tweeted out back in May 15th, 2017, which, if you know about history, May 15th happened to be a day a particular war began in the Middle East back in 1948.
But wait, there's more.
And I should have brought my. I have a hat. Make all well fiction again.
I've seen that hat.